guys, welcome back to another episode of Never Made Weight. We got Jayme the Atom Bomb Hinshaw, fighter, pro fighter since 2016, undefeated in Bare-Knuckle, 2-0 with two finishes, undefeated in Power Slap, and set to face Haley J on the
Yeah,
27th, Power Slap 13. How you doing, Jayme?
good.
Does your nickname Atom Bomb have anything to do with that crazy right hand?
uh, yes. I used to actually compete at 105 pounds, so in the atom weight division, and for how little I am, I'm told I hit pretty hard. So, and plus I'm from New Mexico, with atomic bombs and everything. So I'm small but mighty, and I'm just like one.
So, being from New Mexico, before we get into anything MMA involved, have you ever seen the UFO?
um. Maybe some type of unidentified object just up in the sky, but whatever.
Hey, um, when did you first discover combat sports and what drew you in?
I was in my 20s actually. I was never in any sports as a child. I was Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get into sports, just my upbringing and everything. But I was, like I said, I was over 21 years old, and I took my daughter to an MMA gym to do like a fit kids class where they did, wrestling, jujitsu, and striking and everything like that, basically MMA. And she started to train, and she's like, will you do it with me? You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, sure. I'll do it. You know what I mean? So I went in the gym, and literally, like, I think 3 months into the gym, I was into an amateur boxing match. So yeah, I kind of took off from there.
So you weren't even a fighter before you were a mom.
No, well, being from New Mexico, you know what I mean? I've had fights. I grew up with chip on my shoulder and everything like that, and getting in fights just for fun or just because you had to, you know what I mean? But no, not nothing that I trained for, nothing professionally or amateur or anything like that before.
Interesting. Wow. Um, and so that was the first time you discovered combat sports?
Um, well, me myself actually doing it, yes. I used to watch, BKFC and the Bare-Knuckle before, like the Pride championships before, because it's always
Yeah.
interesting to watch someone get beat up and stuff like that's always a fun time. So yeah, I was a fan of it before, watched it, thought it was awesome to do, and once I got the opportunity and I'm like, I could actually do this for a living. You know what I mean? Like, that's awesome.
I mean, I watched your bare knuckle fights, and those were pretty solid performances. Were they
Yeah.
both finished in the first round?
Yes, they were. The second one, I was actually pregnant and I didn't know. Um, yeah, I was in the beginning stages of being pregnant and I didn't know. And then a couple weeks after that fight, I took a test and it came up positive, and I was like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. So my little one, she already has one win under her belt, bare knuckle, I guess you could say.
That's really cool. That's really cool. Um how did you get into power slap?
um Honestly, I just got a message from them. I was right after having the baby. It was, I think, about a year after I had her. Um, I was sitting there trying to get into bare knuckle, getting back into, fighting and everything like that. And I couldn't get any opportunities to fight. They didn't have nothing available for me. And then Power Slap popped up in my inbox and asked if had an opportunity and asked if I wanted to do it. And it's like, it was kind of like a blessing. It's like, hell yeah. You know what I mean? I would love to compete whatever I can, you know what I mean? If it involves violence, then sign me up. And yeah, so they came to me and I'm all like, let's do this. It was something new, you know, trying to get my feet wet into some other type of combat sports because I've done boxing, I've done bare knuckle, I've done MMA, you know what I mean? And this is just another check off the list, you know what I mean? So to speak. So yeah, I was like, let's see how this is. And I didn't think I would have as much fun whenever I first like signed up and signed the contract and said yes, I'll do it. I yeah, like I said, I didn't expect it being that much fun. And as soon as I did it, I was like calling them and be like, let me get back on there. Like, let me get on the next card. When can you get me back? You know what I mean? And then they came back to me with this one, this opportunity. So I was all like, as soon as they told me, I'm like, yes, sign me up. Yes.
What was this short notice?
Not really. It was first originally supposed to be like at 115 pounds. And then they bumped it up to 125. But whenever they came to me, I most likely would have been able to make the weight. Like weight's never been an issue with me. But I guess you would say like close notice. No and yes, I guess, depending on the person. 4 to 6 weeks is a full camp to me, and that's pretty much a good amount of time. So, and a lot of people they're like, "Oh my gosh, that's barely enough time." You know what I mean? So, um, I think they gave me a great amount of time, a good amount.
It's just like I didn't know because the card, what they were advertising, didn't have the prelims.
Yeah.
There's the untelevised prelims, there's the televised prelims, and then there's the main card. And they were just advertising the four title fights. But then when I saw that there's a lot more fights, I got excited because I'm actually gonna be at the event too, on the 27th. So
Oh,
um
awesome!
yeah, I'm excited to see you perform. It's gonna be very fun. I'm excited to keep continuing covering Power Slap. You know, I've actually gained a liking to it. You know, I've been an MMA fan for a long time, but you know, Power Slap is super fun to watch.
Right.
Let me ask you, where does this hunger for violence come from? Because you mentioned earlier, you said if it's violent, you're in, right? Is that what you
Uh,
said?
Yes. If it involves violence, like sign me up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just the traumas and just my childhood, my upbringing and everything, but yeah, I guess it's just a release. It's something that I guess keeps me sane and I could say out of jail. You know what I mean?
I remember Undertaker from the WWE used to say, "I love my job because I can punch somebody and get away with it."
Exactly, exactly. You can't there is so much things that I can do in my job, you know what I mean, that most people wouldn't be able to do in their normal life or at their job. They would end up, you know, going to jail and stuff like that or facing very serious repercussions. But me, no, I love my job. I get to travel the world. I get to hit people, you know what I mean, and get paid for it. So, you know, that's always a great time.
Sounds like a lot of fun. How does your MMA and bare knuckle background give you an edge in this space?
The only thing I think it gives me really an edge is I know how it feels to get hit bare knuckle like in the face and get hit in the face and take it and be able to come back and not let that affect me. A lot of people they haven't been hit at all, you know what I mean, or been in a fist fight and I think that sometimes once you get hit, you never really know until like you get hit. But yeah, I've had a lot of experience in that aspect. So that getting hit is nothing new to me. I know what to expect. I know what I can take, and yeah, I think that's the edge that kind of helps me.
Babyface Anthony Blackburn, do you know him?
I've seen. him. I'm very bad with names, but
He's the welterweight champion.
he's
He's the
gonna be on the
welterweight
card.
champ. Yeah,
Correct.
he is on
Yeah.
the card. He's on the card. Yeah. He's fighting Azael El Perro Rodriguez. Um, Babyface actually said he's never been in a fight before. He's never been hit before, and he's actually undefeated in 6 fights. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, but well, he says he's never been hit before. Yeah, outside of power slap, but he's been hit in power slap. So I guess that, like I said, you never really know if you can take one, what your reaction is going to be or anything like that until you get hit. Well, he's gotten hit more than 6 times, so I think at least in this sport, he knows what's coming more or less.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. He was just a high school footballer. Now he's a welterweight champ. So I love how much opportunity Power Slap presents to everybody. And I think the personalities on Power Slap are super marketable. So all right, going back to the question, what surprised you most about Power Slap?
How fun it was, honestly. Like, I didn't think that I would enjoy getting slapped and not like, having my hands behind my back and like, oh yeah, go ahead and slap me. I didn't think that I would have so much fun doing it. So yeah.
How do you train for a slap competition versus a traditional fight?
I don't have to do cardio, which is always great for that. But yes, you still have to do your strength and conditioning, you know what I mean? Keep your body into good shape. Stretching, always being limber because you do not want to be out there stiff. I do neck exercises, but I've had to do that before for boxing and MMA, just to strengthen your neck so that you can absorb and take a punch. Um, Jaw exercises, um, and just being able to practice your slap. Learn knowing the rules and trying to implement that, um recording yourself while you're slapping so you could see your foot placement and everything like that, and just all that, aspect of it. You have to do that. Make sure you're on weight. That's half of your job. That's half half of it. And the that's about it. With usually with MMA and stuff like that, we're doing a lot more of actually sparring and wrestling and doing stuff like that. And with this, there's no, sparring or getting hit. I guess there's some people that would get hit and like get slapped before to try to get ready. I think that's just stupid. No offense to anyone. Like if that's your thing, you do you. I'm a firm believer in you only have a certain amount of big hits that you can take. You know what I mean? Before you start to not be able to, like, you get knocked out. You see it with fighters all the time. Like they used to have a chin, but the more that they're in there, the more they get hit and the more hard hits they take. It doesn't seem like they could take them that much. So I rather have those hard hits be in fighting and me getting paid for it instead of, you know, in the in practice. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't get hit. I don't get hit with a pool noodle. I don't have someone slapping me like that or anything like that. So I don't get any damage to my face getting ready for that.
I, I sort of agree with that. I mean, I'm not a fighter, but Max Holloway was doing that for a long time. He hadn't sparred for years. And you hear it from a lot of fighters as a common thing that people lose years of their lives just in practice.
Yeah, CT and
Um,
everything. So you know what
yeah,
I mean? Like I was one of those people that was like, hell yeah, I'm wanting to go spar hard all the fucking time and wanting to spar a lot. And then once I got older and more, you know what I mean, into the business and everything, I'm all like, that's not smart for me anyway, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like I know that other gyms and other fighters and certain people do that, and sometimes some fighters they have to spar all the time or like at least once a week just for their mental to think that they're prepared and stuff like that. Me, I know I believe in my skill fighting. I think, there's some people that are just born fighters and some aren't. I think I was born a fighter. There, yes, I can always get better. There's technique and stuff like that, but I don't necessarily have to sit there and be sparring. I could do my work on the bag, do mitts, and do all that stuff like that. And it's not gonna, like, if I don't spar all the time, it's not gonna I don't lose confidence in myself and in my ability. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, they say a ring rust. I don't believe in that. I think as soon as you go out there, you either have it or not. Like the ring rust, I take it as like it wasn't your day. You know what I mean, in the office. So
Yeah, yeah. What about whenever I watched your last Power Slap match and you took a couple before the end of the match, you took it very well. What's going on through your in your head to be able to mentally prepare for that impact?
Um, like I said, I already know how to get hit. I've been hit before, so that was nothing new to me. And it was just like, okay, just go out there and let's brace and eat this shit and like let's see what it's all about. And as soon as I got hit the first time, I was like, oh, okay, like this is what we're doing, you know what I mean? And I was ready for it after that. I was like, okay, let's go. This time though, I want to be able to get my whole 3 slaps in, not just 2. Cause I swear that second one, it looked like she stumbled a little bit. And I think if I would have just able to, I don't think I would have knocked her out, but I think I would have gave her another good wobble.
So you got Haley J on June 27th. When you see her, when you look at her, do you see her as a competitor, threat, or opportunity?
She's a competitor, you know what I mean? We're both in there, like I said before. We're both entertainers. We are in the sport of violence. Like she's a wrestler. I'm, a professional fighter. That we go on there and we take hits and we're out there to entertain the crowd. And yeah, I respect to her, but as soon as she better know that what she's in for, you know what I mean? Come Friday, like I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna slap the shit out of her, and I'm wanting a knockout, and hopefully she might be the lucky one.
How do you see the fight playing out?
Me winning, like either way, if it's a knockout or me just winning through points. I'm very confident in this that I'm gonna take home the win.
When you have a competitor, does it ever get personal, or you just keep it strictly business?
Um, it's I've had a few that's gotten a little personal. I think it's only maybe 2 fighters ever in my whole career that I didn't really care for that I fought. But besides that, I try to keep it just business. You know what I mean? It is what it is. We're going out there. We're gonna fight. I'm not gonna sit there and be friendly with you. I'm not gonna be your friend. Like we're not friends. You know what I mean? We're out there and we're gonna about to fight. I hate all that like friendly bullshit, and especially it makes so much boring for the fight. Like come on, like we're in there, we're going to fight, we're not best friends. Like this isn't the best friends club or whatever the hell it is. Like we're professional fighters, we're fighters, you know what I mean? Like come on. And then like the whole hugging afterwards and so friendly, like I guess I kind of get it. I'll shake your hand, you know what I mean, if I win. And if you got the best of me, but like I don't know. Said there's a little part of me that's just like, fuck you. You're trying to take some of my paycheck, and we're in there, and I'm there to hurt you. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to have no like nice feelings really towards you because yeah, I'm going in there to hurt you, either to knock you out, hurt you really bad, make you quit. You know what I mean? If you've seen most of my fights, I'm a finisher. I like to finish it. I don't like to leave it to the judges, you know what I mean, so to speak. So there's no way in no one's mind that like, oh, that was just a fluke. No, I finished you.
Understood. You have a message for your opponent, Haley J?
I said, you know what? Like, you better be prepared for me come June 27th because I'm coming to knock your block off.
I love it. I love it. Hey, Jayme, I really appreciate you taking the time doing this podcast episode with us. The mic is yours. Anything you want to leave us with?
I want to say thank you to Power Slap. I want to say thank you to all my friends, family, and supporters, even the haters, everyone. You know what I mean? Come tune in, watch. It's free. Uh, and yeah, just come watch me.
It'll be on YouTube. The whole event will be on YouTube for free, so you guys go check that out. Anyway, thank you so much, Jayme Hinshaw. I really appreciate you, and until next time, good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck on
Thank
the
you.
27th. I'll be there cheering you on.
All
No
right. Thanks.
favoritism, but I'll be there cheering you on.
All right. Have a good one.